with two-step equations involving division and addition. So we have already worked with two-step equations with multiplication and addition. So now we're just kind of switching out that multiplication piece and throwing in that division. So similar to the other equations, our goal is the same, and that is to isolate the variable on one side of the equation. So in this case, we are going to get the x divided by -2 by itself first. So the first thing that we need to do is to undo that addition of 9. So in this case, we are going to subtract 9. And what we do to one side of the equation, we have to do to the other side. So after that, we are left with x divided by -2 equals, and 11 minus 9 is 2. And so our next step then is to identify the operation that's taking place between our variable and the -2. And so in this case, we are dividing by -2. So to undo that division of -2, we need to multiply by -2. So we are multiplying that left side of the equation by -2, and so we multiply what's on the right side of the equation by -2. So then that's going to eliminate that division of -2. So then we're just left with x equals, and 2 times -2 is -4. We can always check our work, so plugging in our values, so -4 divided by -2 plus 9 equals 11. -4 divided by -2 is a positive 2, and 2 plus 9 is 11, and 11 equals 11, so it checks. Looking at example 2, so if we have -7 equals x divided by -3 plus a -1. So our first priority is to undo this -1, so we would add 1 to both sides of the equation. -7 plus 1 is -6. And then on the right side, we're left with x divided by -3. So to undo this division of -3, we are going to multiply by that value. So we're going to multiply by -3. So that is eliminating that multiplication here, or that division, pardon me. And so then we are left with, on the left side of the equation, -3 times -6 is a positive 18 equals, and the division of -3 is eliminated, so x equals 18. If we check our work, so -7 equals 18 divided by -3 plus a -1. 18 divided by -3 is -6. If we add to that a -1, that would also give us -7. So -7 equals -7, and that checks. Moving on to example 3. So if we have 6 plus x divided by -5 equals -17. So we are undoing this 6 first. So remember when we worked with this in previous lessons that if this is a positive 6, to undo that we would subtract 6. So then we are left with x divided by -5. And -17 minus 6 is -23. We are undoing this division of -5, so we need to multiply by -5. and multiply by -5. So then we are left with x on the left side of the equation, and -23 times -5 is positive 115. So when we check, so we would have 6 plus 115 divided by -5 equals -17. So 6 plus 115 divided by -5 is -23. And 6 plus -23, or 6 minus 23, would give us -17. So our value for x checks. Last one. So we have -2 equals -8 plus x, and that whole right side divided by 4. So what you can see that's different is that in this case we're not just having the variable divided by 4, it's that whole right side. So in this case it is a little bit different, and so the first thing that we need to do is to undo that division of 4. So we are going to multiply by 4. So what we do to one side, we do to the other. So we're going to multiply by 4 on the left side of the equation. So 4 times -2 is -8. And so in this case, it eliminated that division of 4. So then we can see that we're left with -8 plus x on the right side of the equation. And so now we just need to undo this -8. So we would add 8 to both sides. And then -8 plus 8 would give us 0 equals x, or x equals 0. And so if we plug this back in, so we would have -2 equals -8 plus our value of x we found to be 0, all of that divided by 4. So we would have to simplify that numerator first, so -2 equals, well, -8 plus 0 is just -8 divided by 4, and -8 divided by 4 gives us -2. So -2 equals -2, and it checks. Make sure that you took accurate notes today and you are ready for your assignment over division and addition, two-step equations.